It's PG rated. It's 112 minutes. Slickly produced. I thought it was a most enjoyable, entertaining comedic romance starring Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson. Kat Valdez, that's J-Lo, and Bastian Maluma are superstars of song, the hottest couple on the planet. Their social media presence is in the stratosphere. Their mega hit, Marry Me, is about to come true in front of 200 million fans. Valdez, the J-Lo character, has been hitched 3 times before, but still believes in true love. With the cameras rolling at a splashy concert where the wedding's due to take place, a shocking revelation changes everything. Bastian's been caught out with Valdez's assistant. Understandably, Valdez is shell-shocked and upset. On the spur of the moment, she decides to go ahead with the nuptials, only with a total stranger she picks out in the crowd. That happens to be Charlie Gilbert, Owen Wilson, who is only at the event by chance. Gilbert is a maths teacher with an intelligent 12-year-old daughter, Lou, Chloe Coleman, whom he shares with his ex-wife. Lou's at the concert with her father, along with a friend that invited them, colourful school counsellor Parker Debs, Sarah Silverman. Gilbert's a nice guy, but conservative. Absolutely nothing showy about him. Suddenly, his modest, quiet life is left behind as paparazzi follow his every move. What starts out as very much a short-term circuit breaker develops into something more. It's a testament to a line in the movie which points to the folly of always following the same path that yields a negative outcome. The script is by Harper Dill, John Rogers and Tammy Sager, based on a graphic novel by Bobby Crosby. What did you think of this particular movie, Marry Me, Dave?
Look, I'm like you. This film really, really surprised me. In fact, the first thing I did when I got out of the cinema was check to make sure that it wasn't a remake of a French romantic drama, because it had that real feel to it. What I loved was the fact that it didn't just become another frivolous romantic drama or romantic comedy. This film actually dug a little bit deeper and went into what it's like being a celebrity and trying to date, and what it's like trying to live up to what your fans expect and how lonely that life can be. But it also looked at how difficult dating can be for a single dad. There's a lot of times in this movie where Charlie, Owen Wilson's character, kind of has that attitude of, this can't be happening to me because of who I am. Not because of the ridiculous situation he's found himself in, but he has that real feeling of, why would a woman like Kat want to date a guy like me? The screenplay, I thought, ended up being a lot more intelligent than what I was expecting this film to be. I love the performances of Owen Wilson and Jennifer Lopez. I was a little skeptical going into the film that they would work as a couple, but they actually do work really, really well together. So all I can really say is this film really surprised me and was a lot different to what I was expecting.
Totally agree with you. Talented cast, strong score, production values are just as strong, fine direction from Kat Coiro. It's feel-good material. Greg?
Yeah, I went into this not expecting much. I thought this is going to be another formulaic, ho-hum romantic comedy, but it turned out to be surprisingly enjoyable, mainly because of the chemistry between J-Lo and Wilson, who created a wonderful odd couple dynamic here, I thought. Wilson's awkward nervousness sort of created a nice contrast to J-Lo's more confident attitude and character there. I also thought the subplot involving Wilson's relationship with his daughter, that precocious maths prodigy, and his preparations for the mathletics, was an enjoyable subplot too that held interest. I liked Sarah Silverman, who I thought brought a sassy style to her performance there. John Bradley, who was probably the most valuable player in the recent Moonfall, doesn't get quite as much to work with here, doesn't get to crack the one-liners or show much personality here. I agree with you that the film looked good, and music is an important part of this film here, and I thought the songs were extremely strong too. So a lot to like about this film. As I said, I didn't go in expecting much, walked out pleasantly surprised.
Absolutely. The music is just perfect for what we are presented with. And, I mean, you talk about some of the characters. I thought Chloe Coleman exuded confidence as Gilbert's daughter. And I really like Sarah Silverman. She just brought fun to Parker Debs. And you talked about John Bradley. Yeah, it's a totally different role to what we've just seen at IMAX in terms of Moonfall, but he eschews decency as Valdez's manager Colin Calloway. And I thought Maluma fitted really comfortably into the skin and the role of this flirtatious pop star. Peter?
I'm not going to quite agree with all of you, unfortunately.
Why did I know that? I had no expectations whatsoever that you were going to enjoy this movie, Peter.
Look, I didn't mind it. Let's put it. Let me start off by saying
you hit me over the head with a wet lettuce leaf. That's what you're doing.
Thank you. First of all, I was put off completely by the most ridiculous premise of the storyline. I think it was totally unbelievable, and because we had not been given proper backstory, I thought to understand this sudden decision about marrying someone sounded like Marrying at First Sight, television show. I thought that was ridiculous. However, the screenwriters have done their best to make it as likeable as possible, and the actors do it very well. There is reasonable chemistry between Lopez and Wilson, so if you go with that and the inordinate number of musical numbers that are in the film, which I thought were a distraction from the story to a great extent, and I thought if you have a bulldog and Sarah Silverman stealing the film from the main actors, then I think you're in trouble. Look, it's okay. It's reasonable film. It's entertaining. Makes no sense whatsoever. Doesn't explain the characters particularly well, apart from making them look good on screen. So I wasn't such a great fan of the film.
Well, hang on. You've mentioned Married at First Sight. I mean, if anybody watches reality television, this is about as real as anything that we see on TV. That doesn't make that real either. But I agree with Greg as well that J-Lo and Wilson, they just work. They're an unlikely pairing, and you want to believe in them. And, you know, you talked about stealing the roles from them. I thought they did exceedingly well. They played the roles that they were given exceedingly well, and that's all you can ask for. And part of that is because for all the pretense with which the movie deals, their characterizations are grounded. I know that she's a pop star, etc., but she recognises that that's all gloss and it's not what she really stands for. That's what this movie's all about. And the other interesting thing about this, unlike other movies of this genre, where there's always a negative twist, or usually a negative twist where there's a villain, if you think about it, even a person who cheats here isn't demonised, right? The way they could have been. So it's innocuous, but it still works to me. And there's a lot to like about the treatment of the subject matter, which to me immediately elevated it above standard fare for the genre. It's fun-filled, it's a good looker, it's got an up-tempo soundtrack, and I reckon it's going to garner an appreciative audience. So I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10. Greg?
I'll give it 6.5 to 7 out of 10. But I'm going to pick up on your vocabulary, Alex. You said that Bradley eschews something there. Eschew means avoid. I think you mean exudes.
Oh, did I say eschew? I'm sorry.
You mean exudes, I think.
I meant exudes then. Right. Yes. Thank you.
But yeah, 6.5 to 7 for me.
Okay. Thank you very much for my grammar lesson. I apologise for misusing the term. And what about you, Peter?
Notting Hill did it better, 5 out of 10.
Oh, gee whiz, that's really mean. You're a meanie. That's not nice. Okay, bring some sanity to this conversation, please, Dave.
I'm going to give it 7 out of 10, and I think Chloe Coleman is going to be an absolute star. She stole the show in the spy movie that she made with Dave Bautista a few years ago, and she was brilliant in Gunpowder Milkshake last year as well. I think Chloe Coleman's going to be a star.
Yeah, that's a really good call, Dave. I wanted to